Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, listeners, we're crossing over far, far abroad, and we're going to be talking, inshallah wal aziz, to Brother Ali and Ali Sadun. His original name, I think. He's authored more than, 300 books. Now exerting considerable influence on both Muslims and non-Muslims all over the world. Allah reward him in abundance. His works, it's available, we believe, in 63 languages, has been downloaded by nearly 150 million people since 2009. And 12 languages, which has been discussed in the European Council and for the last 4 years, made him the focus of the media and the parliaments of European countries. And also he was he was declared by Reuters poll as the most influential, that Harun Yahya, he was declared as the most influential Muslim in the world by 2 million votes in 2009. We're going to be, inshallah al aziz, talking to Brother Ali Sadun, who's with Brother Harun Yahya. Brother Harun Yahya and Brother Ali Sadun, alhamdulillah, together, dear listeners, they have dedicated their life emanating the moral values of the Kalam. Just to give you a brief introduction regarding him, Ali Sadun Engin studied economics and social politics at one of the universities, and also it's in the year 1993. And since 2001, he has taken part in many activities representing Harun Yahya, including more than 1,500 conferences and symposiums in more than 15 different countries. And he's also given addresses at world-famous universities such as the Oxford, Cambridge and the MIT, which are dominated by Darwinist and atheist thinking. And the conferences he held, particularly those in more than 10 cities in France, most notably Paris, dear listeners, were described as French triumphs for Harun Yahya by such media organizations as the speaker, mashallah, has held Harun Yahya conferences in English and French, as well as taking part as a representative of Harun Yahya in programs debating the theory of evolution on Turkish national channels. Alhamdulillah, he's still active as a Turkish and and the End Times programs on channel Ali Sadun Engin. Brother, our airwaves on Radio Islam International here in South Africa.
Dear brothers, first of all, I would like to say Ramadan.
I repeat, it's an honor to speak to you on Radio Islam International here in South Africa. Jazakumullah for accepting the invitation.
The honor is ours. The honor is ours, mashallah.
Jazakumullah. Etc. about the economic system as well. And they happen unbelievable. Hit United States of America also. You evaluate these diseases.
MashaAllah, first of all of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Proves clear events experiencing the end times nowadays. So I would like to give you some of the hadith as example from our Prophet ﷺ, that you're going to see, inshallah, we are clearly, without any doubt, we are experiencing the end. Muqtazar Tazkira al-Qurtubi, page 253, our Prophet ﷺ states, the hour will not come on our Prophet points. Also, our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi about the destruction of great cities, and this is related from Al-Muttaqi al-Hindi in the book Al-Burhan fi Alamat al-Mahdi, page 38. It is stated, great cities will be ruined, and it will be as if they had not the great cities by severe floods and that kind of hadith of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the destruction is so for the end times. Another hadith, mashallah, is quakes will be very frequent. So this is a hadith from Ramuz al-Hadith, page 476. And in the same book, page number 187, it is related, there are two great events before the Day of Judgment. MashaAllah, again in the hadith, where we see that there are going to be many earthquakes. And of course, one another who was struck that kind of disaster 14 centuries ago, and mashallah these hadiths are clearly proving us that we're experiencing the end times, mashallah.
Alright, my brother, Jazakumullah for the beautiful explanation. We see these happening all the time, tsunamis and what have you. Allah make out towards the end of times. Let's take it further. Current news also, Brother Ali. How do you evaluate the recent uprisings in the Middle East? The leaders are killing the people with cold blood. Thousands of people are killed. Are these uprisings with the
Well, surely yes, mashallah. Who are that Prophet Muhammad hadith are describing. I mean, there is no one by one. We are witnessing that all of them, one by one, are fulfilling. MashaAllah, it's coming. Examples of the hadith. For example, like the recent incidents that happened in North Africa. Our Prophet stated, great cities will be ruined, and it will be as if they had no existence the day before. So this is one hadith. Another hadith is about the global terrorists. Our Prophet stated, there's going to be a disorder and conflict in the end times. He stated, at a time when the world will be in utter confusion and disorder, tribulation will appear. When roads will be cut, some will attack some others. This is raised from Al-Muttaqi al-Hindi. Al-Burhan, page 12. MashaAllah. And there is going to, MashaAllah, he stated, the hour, last day will not Sahih Bukhari. MashaAllah. And of course, and the hadith written by Prophet ﷺ is like this: Hadith Mahdi will not appear until innocent people are killed. And another one, being regarded as lawful. As you know, it is unlawful, but in the end times, forbidden things will be regarded as lawful. And this is written from our Prophet. This is Hadith Mahdi will emerge after the appearance of such Haytami al-Kawa al-Muqtada our Prophet stated that there's going to be killing for no related. Right? Our Prophet ﷺ said that people will see such days that the killer will not know why he killed. Slain. So these hadiths, mashallah, they are miraculous. So our Prophet ﷺ, 14 centuries ago, miraculously explained what is going to happen in the end times. And those hadiths are fulfilling one by one hadith. The judgment day will not come unless one more. So there's going to be this incident, which is very important. Murder between the brothers and sisters are going to happen, our Prophet stated. And of course, there are going to be troubles besetting Muslims, our Prophet stated. There will be no home into which strife does not enter, and no Muslim who is untouched by it. Until a rajul, a man of Gnaz. So this is related from Al-Muttaqi al-Hindi. MashaAllah. So
Jazakumullah, Brother Ali, for the deep insight as well. You know, killing and the killed will not know why they were being killed as well. Right before wise. Now, Brother Ali, you referred to a kitab, Alamat al-Mahdi. Now, in mention there is a hadith of our beloved Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that a rook in Egypt. You know, it is mentioned in that kitab. Who is referred here?
Okay, so from the hadith of our Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, we understand that it is clearly Husn Mubarak. Allahu Alam states. And we say Allah knows the best. But when we analyze the hadith, we're going to see that our Prophet pointed out to Husn Mubarak. Name Ibn that he said, a star the shape of a horn will appear in the east when a basit comes to Khorasan. The birth of that star will be after the eclipse of the sun and moon. Then the corruption. Okay, so corruption, and when comet, which is its name is Zulun. This comet in question approach closest to the earth. It is clear that the hadith is referring to our own day, mashallah. So our Prophet ﷺ metaphor of a rook appearing in we can see that his hair, the shape of his eyes, his facial expression, and the nature of his lips and nose. When you pay close attention, when you look closer to mashallah, great evidences. And he has a flattened nose as well. It is mentioned in the hadith again. It is very interesting. Let me read from the hadith. Daylami related from Abu al-Madani. And he from he said, a man with a flattened nose will emerge from the Quraysh in Egypt. He will be defeated, his possessions will disappear, and he will flee to Rome. MashaAllah, these details miraculously point. It continues in the hadith. He will first bloody slaughter. And so this is to Mr. Mubarak's nose is visibly flattened. I have to continue because these hadiths are amazing miracles for the incidents that happened recently. A tyrannical Egyptian who slaughters the goods. A member of the Makhzum tribe will assume broad destroys those who oppose him will govern. MashaAllah. So each of these details in the hadith is in complete being of tall stature.
Yeah.
And other characteristics. So throughout his years as the head of state, Mubarak is known as the last pharaoh. That was, you can read it in many newspapers. So because of Muslims. So our Prophet also refers to his person being physically powerful and broad-shouldered, with both his own military experience and also his 25,000 person army. Mubarak appears to be a powerful and is visibly physically strong and broad-shouldered. If you look his television, you're going to see that he's these details, minor details, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allahu alim, yani inshallah Allah knows the best.
Jazakum Allah. Yes, Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala knows best. Let's check. The Antichrist or Dajjal is using all his means to how will the mischief of Dajjal and Antichrist and how will the world be saved from his evil?
Still be taking, for example, for the hunger or for the disasters or corruptions going around the world, especially in the Islamic world. And if though all these precautions taking there is going to be a time loss. For example, it's going to go as food. It provides food and nutrition for the needy people. But the day after, what's going to happen? The system is there. The system of the Dajjal is there. So it should be the only way to refute that solution for all these troubles going around the world is Islam. It's very important, and it is in the Holy Quran about this. Healthy will prevail in the world, inshallah. So the only solution now, today, is the Islamic Union. Nothing else, inshallah.
That is the kalima la ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. Also, Brother Ali, Harun Yahya emphasizes the importance of the establishment of Islamic Union. How the world will be if this Islam Union is...
Well, Islamic Union is the greatest thing of the end times, mashallah. Every Islamic country and non-Islamic associate anything with Allah. We analyze successes in the land. So those 6-7 words, if you analyze them, their numerological analysis will give you 2013 in Gregorian calendar. So that points out to a very meaningful year, 2013, mashallah. Of course, Allahu Alam, Allah knows the best.
All right.
Verse number 171 and 173, Allah Jalla Jalaluhu states to our servants, it is our army which will. The surah Allah states, Allah has written, I will be victorious, and I and my messengers, inshallah. And there are other verses as well pointing out guidance and though the associators hate it. The religion of truth to exalt is 2021, mashallah. So it's very meaningful. So
quite interesting, mashallah. You go ahead.
Yeah, I have some other event, inshallah, for the end times. It is, okay, inshallah. Enzu billahi mineşşeytanirracim. And the religion of truth. Another verse is, it is he who sent his messenger with guidance, the religion of the truth, to exalt it over every other religion.
Yeah.
As I repeated, let me give the number about it. Neurological analysis in Islamic calendar, it is 1444, mashallah.
Okay.
And one last, inshallah, ayah, which is, we desire to show kindness to those who were oppressed in the land, and to make them leaders and make them inheritors. And this numerological analysis gives us 1996, mashallah. And of course, we don't, if Muslims, that what's going to happen in the Muslims to support each other, in Surah are the friends and protectors of one another. Yani, which means protect each other. Yani, if we don't act and protect each other, there will be turmoil in the land and great corruption. So in Surah Al-Anfal, verse number 73, Allah warns Muslims and orders Muslims, if we don't come together, if we don't support each other, there will be turmoil in the land and great. And Allah commands Muslims that they should only say the best. Outright enemy to man. So Allah best to each other. And command, God loves those who strive in His way in ranks like well-built walls. Well-built walls. What does that mean? So Allah wants us to be very close, shoulder to shoulder, support each other, struggle against disbelief and against atheism and Darwinism, inshallah. Okay. And another verse in Surah Al-Hujurat, verse number 10, your brothers and heed God, so that hopefully together, and inshallah is a must, inshallah. So we have to quick to give an end to Muslims all over the world, not only the Muslims but non-Muslims as well.
Ali, we go on further. Something very interesting. You reminded us of the verse of the Quran. الذين آمنوا منكم وعملوا الصالحات ليستخلفنهم في الأرض كما استخلف الذين من قبلهم. That Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala will make us, Allah will put us in control.
Mahdi alayhi salam will lead the prayer in Jerusalem, inshallah. Allah, at that time we are going to say, most probably, Allahu Alam, Allah knows the best, that this might be Mahdi alayhi salam. So his role, inshallah, is going to unite the Islamic world, and he's going to restore, like it has been experienced and lived, like at the time of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And his role is, and his duty and Darwinistic ideologies, inshallah, those understand that this is Mahdi alayhi salam. And he's, most important of all, he's not drop a single drop. Let me read you from the hadith. He will be with justice. His justice will be, he will be operating, inshallah. He will not wake, shed one drop of blood. There is perfect freedom of thought. And the hadith continues, the earth will return to the age of bliss. MashaAllah, this is related from Ibn Hajar al-Haytami. Al-Qawl al-Muqtazar fi alamat al-Mahdi. In a hadith, a prophet taught about Mahdi alayhi salam, his personality of being compassionate. In the hadith it is stated, they will swear allegiance to him between the corner and the maqam. Hazrat Mahdi alayhi salam will be so compassionate that no one will be woken up from their sleep or have a bleeding nose. And this is again related from Ibn Hajar al-Haytami. His main role is uniting the Islamic world.
For the program, Brother Ali, our beloved Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has foretold about the emergence of the Mahdi. The Mahdi, where will the Mahdi emerge from? Regarding this,
there are many major points. Those are, the of the Euphrates. There's a river which is called the Euphrates in Turkey. These were stopped for the first time in Hijri 1400. So there's it's 210 meters what by the stand, and it is in the hadith. Sign for the emergence of Hazrat Mahdi is he's going to appear in Istanbul, inshallah. Iraq war, inshallah, because as you know, in Hijri 1400, the Iran-Iraq war effectively began in October of that year. And in the hadith, there will be the tumult in Shawwal. The 11th Islamic month. Yeah, the 12th month, inshallah. This is written from Al-Barzanji. And another sign is the occupation of Afghanistan. In the hadith, our Prophet is the region in Afghanistan. At that place, that consists of people who have recognized Allah as they should have. They are Hazrat Mahdi alayhi salam followers. So this is related from Al-Mustaki al-Hindi. So the occupation of Afghanistan, when our Prophet feels pity for Taliban, he points out that the occupation of Afghanistan, the hadith indicates that Afghanistan will be occupied in their times, inshallah. And of course, from the history, we know that Russia invaded Afghanistan Hijri 1400s. So that it appeared on 906, inshallah. In the hadith, emerges. So this Halley's comet appeared in 1986, and it in the east. Interesting solar and lunar eclipses during Ramadan. So that's a very important sign. Our Prophet stated before Hazrat Mehdi advanced. So this is it is very important. The same month of Ramadan took place in 1981, 81 and 82 sun and moon eclipses 1400, just as it is stated in the hadith. So it's a clear sign about the coming of Mehdi alayhi salam. And storming the Kaaba and the subsequent bloodshed, so this is another sign. The storming of the Kaaba took place on the beginning of the there are like different like this. Let me tell you one by one. Corruptions, fitna will follow one another. From Al-Muttaqi al-Hindi. The hadith about the destruction of Baghdad. As you know, Baghdad is destroyed by fire, inshallah. This is very interesting as well. When it comes to fight, once they entered the the 60,000 member units of the Iraqi army, they were known as the Republican Guard, and known as the Fedayeen. They just disappeared. That happened. It is Islam stated in Saudis. Divided into three. Of course, a very important February 2009, and in the hadith it is stated like, when Abbasi Malik arrives at Khorasan, one of the signs of the coming of the promised Mehdi, a double-toothed light-shedding horn will appear in the east. So I repeat, double-toothed light-shedding Comet Lulan. When you look at this picture, you get two different horns facing to east and to west. So it is just as it is described in the hadith, mashallah. So that's another important sign. And of course, the increase in the number of the earthquakes is another sign of the coming of Mehdi, and is another sign for the coming of Mehdi. When you analyze so densely in the Earth's atmosphere toward the end of 1980. So there is astronomers took many pictures and they make footages So we have understand scientifically that especially on 1980, millions of asteroids increasingly started to surround the Earth, inshallah. I can mention about the coming of yeah, mashallah, and okay, inshallah, he's going to, what we understand from the hadith is that he's going to emerge from Islam in the hadith. Tell about this. Spiritually conquered Constantinople with booty the like of which has never been seen. Al-Fitan, page number 35. So we understand produce the sacred relics of our Prophet. The sacred relics of our Prophet ﷺ, very miraculously, our Prophet by Hazrat Mehdi. We read you the hadith. In terms of never to this day been opened since the of Hazrat Mehdi alayhi salam. So this is a hadith from our Prophet, and it clearly says that Mehdi alayhi salam is going to wear the shirt and take the sword and carry the banner of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So these are the clear hadiths that Mehdi alayhi salam is going to appear.
Jazakumullah. Brother Ali, Jazakumullah for the very interesting discussion. We really for Qiyamah, my brother. Jazakumullah. Yes. Regarding some signs of Qiyamah is then the recent uprisings in the Middle East. And we talked and he mentioned regarding who the Suruki is, and we spoke about the Dajjal and a few important aspects, and also regarding the economic crisis. Alright, we conclude this program as well from Mr. Muhammad Kara fi Amanillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.